My child, pause for a moment and listen with your heart. This is not random. This is not an accident of timing. You did not arrive here by chance. I have drawn you into this moment because there are things weighing on you that you have not spoken out loud, and I want you to know that I see them clearly. You have been asking quietly, sometimes boldly, sometimes with trembling faith, whether your life is truly moving forward. You have wondered if the delays mean denial, if the silence means distance, if the struggle means you missed your moment. Hear me now. Everything is aligning, even the things that look disordered to you. Alignment does not always feel peaceful. Often, it feels like pressure. Often it feels like stretching, pruning, and waiting longer than you expected. But what you call waiting, I call positioning. What you call loss, I call clearing space. What you call confusion, I call preparation. You are standing in a season where pieces are shifting behind the scenes. Conversations are being arranged that you have not yet heard. Doors are being adjusted that you cannot yet see. I am moving circumstances, timing, and people into place so that when the breakthrough comes, it will not collapse under its own weight. You have survived things that should have broken you. You carried burdens that were never meant to be permanent. You learned lessons through pain that later will become wisdom for others. None of this was meaningless. None of this was wasted. I know there were nights you stayed awake replaying your past. You questioned your decisions. You wondered if you trusted the wrong people or waited too long or acted too soon. But listen carefully. Your story is not defined by your mistakes, but by my mercy. I do not consult your past to decide your future. I redeem it. Right now, I am asking you to stop measuring progress only by what you can see. Faith is not built on visibility. Faith is built on trust, and trust grows when you choose to believe me even when the evidence feels thin. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. There are seasons when growth happens underground. Seeds do not make noise while they grow, but that does not mean nothing is happening. In the same way, I am working beneath the surface of your life. Roots are strengthening. Capacity is increasing. Vision is expanding. Some of you listening feel tired, not because you lack strength, but because you have carried hope for a long time without seeing results. I want you to know that hope deferred does not mean hope denied. The delay has been protecting you from receiving something before you were ready to sustain it. What is coming will require a stronger version of you, a wiser version of you, a more grounded version of you. That is why I have been shaping your character while you were waiting for change. That is why I have been teaching you patience while you asked for speed. That is why I have been deepening your trust while you asked for answers. If you are sensing peace as you listen, let that be confirmation that I am speaking to you. And as a small act of agreement, write, I believe, in the comments. Not to impress anyone, but to remind your own heart that you are choosing faith over fear. Now hear this truth clearly. Storms do not cancel promises. They often carry you closer to them. What felt like resistance has been resistance training. What felt like opposition has been alignment in disguise. There are things you prayed for that are closer than you think. There are answers forming even now. There are breakthroughs that require one more step of obedience. I am not asking you to rush. I am asking you to remain open. Let go of the weight of yesterday. Forgive what hurt you. Release what left you. Make room for what is arriving. This season is teaching you to walk without needing constant reassurance. It is teaching you to trust me, not only when things are clear, but when they are quiet. And that kind of trust will carry you farther than certainty ever could. If you agree that I am still working in your life, type Amen below, and let it be your declaration that you are not giving up now. Stay with this message. Do not leave halfway through your encouragement. What I will reveal in the next parts will help you understand why certain things had to happen the way they did, and how to move forward with wisdom and peace. And if these words are strengthening you, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. If you feel joy and reassurance through these messages, and want to help support this ministry, use the link given below so more lives can be reached. Everything is aligning. Your breakthrough is not lost. It is being prepared. Walk forward with trust. I am with you. My child, stay with me a little longer. Do not rush past this moment. There is something sacred about stillness, and I am meeting you here, right where your questions live. You have been strong for a long time, stronger than many people realize. You kept moving even when clarity was missing. You kept believing even when results were slow. And I want you to hear this clearly now. Your endurance has not gone unnoticed. There are seasons when I allow pressure not to crush you, but to refine you. Gold is not ruined by fire. It is revealed by it. In the same way, what you have walked through has been revealing what was already inside you. Courage you didn't know you had. Wisdom that could only come through experience. Compassion that will one day heal others. You thought the struggle meant something was wrong with you, but the struggle was evidence that something valuable was being formed. Easy paths do not stretch faith. Comfortable seasons do not build spiritual strength. And while you asked me to remove the challenge, I was using it to prepare you for what comes next. Right now, there are alignments happening that you cannot track with your eyes. I am rearranging priorities. I am softening hearts. I am closing doors you would have forced open and opening paths you never would have chosen on your own. What feels like resistance is actually redirection. Some of you listening have felt disconnected from your purpose. You wondered if you lost your passion, if your calling faded, if your best days were behind you. But hear me. Purpose does not disappear, it waits. It waits for the right season, the right maturity, the right timing. And timing matters more than talent. You are not late. You are not early, you are right on time. The delay you disliked has been building stability. The waiting you resisted has been strengthening discernment. If I had given you what you asked for when you first asked, it would have overwhelmed you. Now, you are becoming someone who can steward the blessing without losing peace. I know there are voices around you that don't understand your pace. They think you should be further along. They think you should have more to show by now. But comparison is a thief of joy, and I never measure you against others. I measure you against the assignment I placed on your life. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to rush the process. You don't need to fear being left behind. I am guiding your steps even when you feel uncertain. And sometimes guidance feels like discomfort, because growth requires movement. Trust does not mean you will always feel confident. It means you choose to walk anyway. If this message is speaking to your heart, take a moment and comment, "I trust your timing," as a declaration. Let it remind you that faith is not passive. It is active agreement with my promises. There are lessons in this season that will protect you later. Discernment is being sharpened. Boundaries are being strengthened. You are learning the difference between what feels good and what is good for you. These lessons will save you from unnecessary pain in the future. I am also healing places in you that you learned to ignore. Wounds you buried under productivity. Disappointments you normalized. Expectations you lowered to avoid being hurt again. But healing is part of alignment. I do not just bless outcomes, I restore hearts. You may not see it yet, but peace is returning. Clarity is forming. Confidence is being rebuilt. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that doesn't need validation. This is the kind of strength that lasts. Do not underestimate small obedience. Do not dismiss quiet faithfulness. Do not think unseen effort is unrewarded. What you do when no one applauds matters deeply to me. That is where character is shaped. If you feel encouraged right now, type "Yes, Lord" below and let it be your way of saying you are staying open, staying teachable, staying hopeful. Everything is aligning not just around you, but within you. Your breakthrough is connected to your growth, and your growth is unfolding exactly as it should. Keep walking, keep trusting. I am leading you even now. My child, draw closer and listen without fear. I know there are questions you have carried quietly, Questions you felt ashamed to ask because you thought faith meant never wondering. But faith does not mean the absence of questions. Faith means choosing to trust me, even while you are still learning the answers. There are moments when your heart feels heavy for reasons you cannot fully explain. You sense that something is changing, yet you cannot name it. You feel both hope and uncertainty at the same time. That tension is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of transition. You are moving from one season into another, and transitions often feel uncomfortable because they require letting go of what is familiar. I am asking you now to release the need to understand everything before you move forward. Some things will only make sense after obedience. Some clarity comes only after the step is taken. You have been standing at the edge, waiting for assurance, waiting for certainty, waiting for a sign that guarantees safety. But growth often begins when you choose me over comfort. You have been stronger than you give yourself credit for. You survived emotional battles that no one saw. You showed up when you wanted to withdraw. You kept loving even when disappointment tempted you to close your heart. That strength did not come from yourself alone. I have been sustaining you even when you felt empty. There are patterns I am breaking in your life right now. Cycles of fear, cycles of self-doubt, cycles of repeating the same lessons with different people. What once felt normal will soon feel too small for you. And that discomfort is not rejection. It is elevation. I know you sometimes wonder if you are truly hearing me. You worry about making the wrong decision, choosing the wrong path, missing what I have prepared. Hear me clearly. I am not a God who hides direction from those who sincerely seek me. I guide gently. I correct lovingly. I redirect when needed. You are not walking alone. This season is teaching you discernment. You are learning when to speak and when to remain silent, when to wait and when to act, when to hold on and when to let go. These lessons will protect your peace long after the breakthrough arrives. Some of what you have lost recently was never meant to go with you into the next season. I allowed it to fall away because it would have limited your growth. I know it hurt. I know it confused you. But what leaves your life without tearing your faith was not meant to stay. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. If these words are settling into your spirit, take a moment and type, "I receive this" in the comments. Let it be your way of opening your heart to the work I am doing within you. Right now, alignment is happening internally before it becomes visible externally. Your desires are shifting. Your priorities are being refined. Your tolerance for what drains you is decreasing. That is growth. That is maturity. That is readiness. I am also teaching you to rest without guilt. Rest is not laziness. Rest is trust. When you rest, you declare that you believe I am working even when you are still. You do not have to exhaust yourself trying to earn what I freely give. There will be moments soon when you look back and realize how far you have come. You will see how the confusion led to clarity, how the delay led to wisdom, how the pain led to purpose. But for now, I ask you to remain faithful in the present moment. Do not rush the process. Do not compare your timeline with someone else's. What I am building in you requires precision. Every step matters. Every lesson matters. Every pause matters. If you are choosing to trust me in this season, comment, "I will keep going" below. Let it be a reminder to your own heart that you are not quitting now, not when you are closer than you think. Everything is aligning. Your breakthrough is unfolding in stages, and this stage right now is shaping you for what comes next. Remain open. Remain hopeful. I am with you every step of the way. My child, stay present with me. Do not let your mind wander back to regrets or rush ahead into worries. There is power in this moment, and I am speaking into it with intention. You have carried questions about whether your consistency still matters, whether your faith still counts when progress feels slow. Hear me now. Faithfulness in unseen seasons carries great weight. There are times when obedience feels ordinary. You wake up, you show up, you do what is right even when it feels unnoticed. You pray, you try again, you choose patience over impulse. And you wonder if any of it is making a difference. But what you do consistently in quiet places shapes outcomes you will one day see openly. I am teaching you to value progress over perfection. Growth does not always look dramatic. Often it looks like choosing peace instead of reacting. It looks like setting boundaries without guilt. It looks like trusting me even when you don't feel emotionally strong. These are signs of maturity, not weakness. You have been learning to listen differently, not just for loud instructions, but for gentle nudges, not just for confirmation, but for alignment. I speak in ways that require closeness, and closeness requires trust. You are learning to slow down enough to recognize my guidance. There were moments when you felt tempted to settle, to accept less than what you prayed for simply because you were tired of waiting. But I protected you from premature choices. What looks attractive in exhaustion often becomes heavy later. I withheld certain things not to disappoint you, but to preserve you. Right now, I am strengthening your discernment. You are noticing patterns you once ignored. You are sensing when something is not aligned with your peace. You are no longer forcing connections that drain you. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming wise. Some people misunderstood your silence. They assumed you were pulling away. But sometimes silence is healing. Sometimes it is reflection. Sometimes it is me teaching you to listen more than you speak. You do not owe everyone access to your process. I am also restoring your confidence, not the kind that needs constant affirmation, but the kind that stands quietly rooted. Confidence that knows who I am and who you are becoming. Confidence that does not panic when plans change. Confidence that trusts timing over impulse. If this is speaking to you, pause and comment. I am growing as an acknowledgement that you recognize the work happening within you. There are habits I am helping you release, thought patterns that kept you small, expectations that limited your joy. You are learning that not every thought deserves your agreement. You are learning to challenge fear instead of obeying it. This inner work is part of alignment. You have also been learning patience with yourself. You used to be harsh, replaying mistakes, criticizing progress, but healing requires gentleness. I am teaching you to extend grace to yourself the same way I extend it to you daily. Do not rush to arrive. Becoming is just as important as receiving. What I give you next will last because of who you are becoming now. Foundations matter, and I am building yours carefully. There will be moments ahead when things move quickly. Doors will open, opportunities will appear. And when they do, you will not feel overwhelmed, because this season has trained you to remain grounded. If you are choosing to stay committed to this process, type, I choose patience, below. Let it be your reminder that waiting with trust is not wasted time. Everything is aligning. Your thoughts, your choices, your direction. Your breakthrough is connected to your growth, and your growth is unfolding exactly as it should. Remain steady. Remain teachable. I am guiding you with purpose and care. My child, remain here with me. You are not behind, and you are not losing ground. Even when progress feels slow, alignment is still taking place. I want you to understand something deeply today. Not every season is meant for visible results. Some are meant for invisible strengthening. You have been learning how to stand without constant reassurance. You have been learning how to trust without immediate confirmation. This is not weakness. This is maturity. There is a kind of faith that depends on signs, and there is a deeper faith that depends on relationship. I am drawing you into that deeper place. You have noticed that certain desires no longer pull you the way they once did. Things you used to chase now feel less important. This shift did not happen by accident. I am refining your focus. I am helping you release distractions so you can recognize what truly matters when it appears. Some of the frustration you felt recently came from trying to force clarity before it was time. But clarity unfolds step by step. I do not overwhelm you with the entire picture at once because growth happens in layers. You only need enough light for the next step, not the whole journey. I know you sometimes worry about whether you are doing enough. You ask yourself if you should be trying harder, praying longer, fixing more. But hear me, this is not a season for striving, it is a season for trusting. What I am bringing into your life cannot be earned through exhaustion. It will arrive through alignment. I am also teaching you the power of consistency. Small choices made daily shape long-term outcomes. Choosing peace instead of reacting. Choosing honesty instead of avoidance. Choosing rest instead of burnout. These choices are preparing you to carry what is coming without losing yourself. There are people who will not understand this phase of your life. They may misinterpret your stillness as lack of ambition. They may misread your boundaries as distance. But I am not shaping you for their approval. I am shaping you for sustainability. I know it felt uncomfortable when certain relationships shifted, when conversations grew quiet, when access changed, but sometimes separation is protection. Sometimes distance is mercy. I remove what would distract you from what I am about to entrust to you. You are learning discernment not just about people, but about timing. You are beginning to recognize when to move and when to wait. This wisdom will save you from unnecessary regret later. Patience now prevents pain later. I am also healing the way you see yourself. You are no longer defining yourself by past failures or unmet expectations. You are learning to see yourself through my perspective, capable, growing, and becoming. This renewed identity is part of alignment. There will come a moment when things begin to move quickly, when doors open that once felt sealed, when opportunities appear without you forcing them, and when that moment comes, you will recognize it not by chaos, but by peace. You will know it is from me, because it will not require you to compromise your values. It will not drain your joy. It will not confuse your spirit. Alignment feels steady, not frantic. If you are willing to trust this process, even when it stretches you, comment, "I trust the process," and let that be your single declaration of faith today. And if these messages are strengthening you and bringing peace to your heart, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope today. If you feel led and supported by these words, you may also support God's ministry through the link given below, so this message can continue reaching others who are searching for reassurance and direction. Everything is aligning, not hurried, not forced, but intentional. Your breakthrough is being prepared with care, and you are being prepared to receive it with wisdom. My child, listen with patience and let these words settle gently into your spirit. I know you have reached moments where you wondered how much longer you could wait without seeing tangible change. Waiting can feel heavy when hope has been stretched thin. But I want you to understand something clearly today. Waiting is not a pause in purpose. It is part of preparation. There are things forming in you now that could not be rushed. Strength that lasts is not built in haste. Wisdom that protects you is not learned quickly. I have been teaching you how to endure without becoming bitter, how to hope without becoming desperate, and how to trust without needing control. These qualities will carry you through the next chapter of your life. You have grown in ways you did not notice at first. You are responding differently than you used to. Situations that once triggered fear or frustration no longer hold the same power over you. This change did not happen overnight. It happened quietly, through repeated choices to trust me instead of reacting to circumstances. I know you sometimes question whether your prayers are still being heard. When answers do not come immediately, doubt tries to creep in. But silence does not mean absence. I am present even when I am quiet. And often, I am quiet because I am working deeply, not superficially. Right now, I am aligning your inner world with the future I am preparing for you. Your thoughts are being refined. Your motivations are being purified. You are learning to desire what aligns with peace rather than what satisfies impulse. This alignment within you is just as important as the alignment around you. There are doors that have not opened yet because timing matters. A door opened too early can lead to unnecessary struggle. A blessing received before readiness can become a burden. I delay not to frustrate you, but to protect what I am building in your life. You have been learning to surrender outcomes instead of clinging to expectations. This surrender is not weakness. It is trust in its purest form. When you release control, you create space for me to move freely. And when I move with intention and purpose. Some days you feel strong, other days you feel uncertain. This does not mean you are unstable. It means you are human. Faith is not measured by constant confidence, but by consistency. You keep showing up, you keep choosing hope, you keep believing. Even when emotions fluctuate, I'm also teaching you to listen to wisdom rather than noise. The world is loud, full of opinions and pressure, but my guidance is steady and calm. As you learn to quiet distractions, you will hear direction more clearly. Discernment grows in stillness. You may notice that you are becoming more selective with your energy. You no longer engage in every conflict. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. This is not indifference. This is clarity. You are learning what deserves your attention and what does not. I know you want assurance that things will improve. I want you to know that improvement is already happening, even if it is not yet visible. Foundations are being strengthened. Systems are being aligned. When change comes, it will not be fragile. It will be sustainable. If you are choosing to remain faithful in this season, even when progress feels slow, comment, "I will wait with faith," as your declaration today. Everything is aligning with purpose and precision. Your breakthrough is not delayed, it is being prepared. And you are becoming ready to receive it without losing your peace. Remain patient. Remain faithful. I am with you, and I am still working. My child, breathe and stay attentive to what I am unfolding now. There are layers to your journey that you are only beginning to understand. You once thought progress would come in a straight line, but growth rarely does. It curves, it pauses, it stretches, and it deepens. And through every turn, I have been present. You have learned that strength is not loud. It does not always announce itself. True strength shows up when you keep choosing integrity while no one is watching. It shows up when you respond with grace instead of defense. It shows up when you continue to hope without demanding proof. This is the kind of strength that sustains a breakthrough long after the excitement fades. I know there were moments when you felt unseen, when your effort went unnoticed, and your consistency felt ignored. But hear me clearly, what is unseen by people is never unseen by me. I watch the quiet obedience. I honor the hidden sacrifices. I remember the prayers you whispered when speaking felt too heavy. Right now, I am aligning your resilience with your reward. You are becoming someone who can handle both success and stillness without losing balance. You are learning that your worth is not tied to constant motion or visible achievement. This lesson will protect you from burnout and regret. You have also been learning discernment for disappointment. When expectations fell short, it revealed what you were placing your trust in. And instead of condemning you, I used that moment to redirect your focus back to me. Trust rooted in me does not collapse when circumstances shift. There are times when you wondered if you were repeating the same lessons. But repetition is not failure, it is reinforcement. Each time you face a familiar challenge, you respond with greater wisdom. You pause longer, you pray sooner, you react less. This is evidence of growth. I am also healing the way you view time. You once felt pressured to rush, to catch up, to meet invisible deadlines. But I am teaching you that purpose is not measured by speed. What I am building in you will not expire because of delay. It will mature because of patience. You may notice that your circle has grown smaller, fewer voices, fewer distractions. This is intentional. Clarity often comes when noise fades. I am teaching you to value depth over quantity, peace over popularity, alignment over approval. Some of you have been carrying a quiet fear that if you stop striving, things will fall apart. But I want you to know that rest does not undo progress. Rest restores perspective. When you rest, you allow me to work without interference. There are insights forming within you now. You are beginning to recognize patterns sooner. You are learning when to disengage. You are trusting your intuition more deeply. This is not you becoming guarded. This is you becoming wise. I am also preparing you to lead in ways you did not anticipate. Leadership does not always come with a title. Sometimes it comes through example, through how you endure, through how you forgive, through how you remain grounded when others panic. What you are learning now will one day help someone else find their way. The patience you are practicing will become counsel. The resilience you are developing will become testimony. Nothing in this season is wasted. If you are sensing a quiet confidence rising within you, even without clear answers, comment, "I am becoming stronger," and let that be your single declaration today. My child, remain attentive, because what I am revealing now is meant to steady your heart. There are moments when the journey feels quieter than you expected, when excitement fades and routine sets in. You may wonder if anything meaningful is still happening. But understand this, quiet seasons are not empty seasons. They are often the most productive ones. I have been teaching you how to remain grounded when nothing dramatic is happening. Anyone can trust when miracles are obvious, but it takes maturity to trust when progress feels subtle. This steadiness you are developing will anchor you when change accelerates. You have learned that emotions come and go, but commitment remains. Some days you feel hopeful and energized. Other days you feel uncertain and tired. Neither defines your faith. Faith is shown in your decision to keep moving forward regardless of how you feel. That decision is shaping your future more than you realize. There were moments when you wanted reassurance from people, when you hoped someone would recognize your effort or affirm your direction. But I gently pulled you away from dependence on validation so you could learn confidence rooted in truth. When your assurance comes from me, it cannot be shaken by opinions. I am also refining how you handle disappointment. Instead of collapsing under unmet expectations, you are learning to pause, reflect, and adjust. This resilience is not accidental. It is necessary. What is ahead of you requires emotional stability, not emotional reactivity. Some of the delays you experienced were not about readiness alone. They were about alignment with others. Timing is not only about you. It involves people, circumstances, and moments converging. I am synchronizing details you cannot control, ensuring that when things move, they move smoothly. You have been learning to release outcomes without losing hope. This balance is rare and powerful. You no longer cling to specific results as proof of my presence. You trust that I am present regardless of outcomes. This trust frees you from anxiety and opens you to peace. You may have noticed that your prayers have changed. You are asking fewer questions about when and more about how. You are seeking wisdom, not just results. This shift matters. Wisdom sustains blessings long after excitement fades. I am also teaching you to recognize when to act and when to wait. Impatience once pushed you to move prematurely. Fear once held you back unnecessarily. Now, you are learning discernment. This discernment will guide you safely through future decisions. You have grown more comfortable with uncertainty. That does not mean you enjoy it. It means you are no longer controlled by it. You understand now that certainty is not required for obedience. Trust is enough. Some of you have been tempted to revisit old habits, old connections, or old ways of thinking simply because they are familiar. But familiarity does not equal alignment. I'm inviting you to continue forward, even when backward feels easier. I know there are moments when loneliness surfaces, when the path feels narrow and quiet. But solitude is not abandonment. Sometimes I remove noise so you can hear me more clearly. Sometimes I reduce distractions so you can focus on what truly matters. You are becoming more intentional with your time, more protective of your energy, more aware of what drains you versus what strengthens you. This awareness is preparing you for increased responsibility. Stewardship begins before expansion. I am also restoring joy in simple things, moments of calm, small victories, quiet gratitude. Joy does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it settles gently, reminding you that peace is not dependent on circumstances. If you sense that you are learning to trust without rushing, to hope without clinging, and to move without fear, comment, "I am staying aligned," as your single declaration today. My child, remain still for a moment and let your spirit settle. There are truths I want to place gently into your heart today, truths meant to steady you when the path feels long. You have come farther than you realize, and even now, you are standing closer to change than you think. There are seasons when progress feels invisible, because it is happening at the level of foundation. You are learning stability before expansion. You are learning clarity before acceleration. Without these, movement would feel exciting at first, but collapse later. I am building something that will endure, not something that will impress briefly. You have been learning how to respond instead of react. There was a time when pressure immediately demanded action from you, when discomfort pushed you into decisions fueled by fear. Now, you pause. You reflect. You pray. That pause is not hesitation, it is wisdom forming. I know it has not been easy to trust when outcomes remain uncertain. Uncertainty can feel unsettling, especially when you want to plan, prepare, and protect yourself from disappointment. But certainty is not what strengthens faith. Trust does. And trust grows when you continue forward without needing every answer. Some of the internal resistance you feel is not doubt. It is growth stretching you. New levels often require new thinking. Old patterns cannot carry new purpose. That is why certain habits, thoughts, and expectations feel uncomfortable now. They no longer fit who you are becoming. You have also been learning how to hold hope without forcing it. Hope does not need pressure to survive. True hope rests in confidence, not urgency. You are discovering that when you stop chasing outcomes, peace finds you more easily. I am also reshaping how you view success. Success is not only arrival, it is alignment. It is waking up with peace. It is moving with integrity. It is knowing when to say no as confidently as when to say yes. This definition will keep you grounded when opportunities multiply. There were moments when you felt tempted to look back, to question whether staying the course was worth it. But looking back will never move you forward. Reflection can teach, but fixation can trap. I am inviting you to keep your eyes ahead, not because the past is meaningless, but because the future requires focus. You are becoming more comfortable with discipline, doing what is right even when it is not exciting, maintaining consistency even when motivation fluctuates. This discipline will serve you well when responsibility increases. You have also been learning to trust your inner sense of peace. Peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of alignment. When peace remains even in uncertainty, it is often confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. I know you sometimes worry that you are missing something, that if you do not act now, opportunity will pass. But what is meant for you will not bypass you. What aligns with my purpose for your life will arrive at the right time and remain steady when it does. This season is strengthening your ability to wait without becoming passive. You are learning active patience, continuing to prepare, continuing to grow, continuing to listen, while trusting me with the timing. There is also a softening happening in your heart. You are becoming more compassionate, more understanding, less quick to judge. Pain has taught you empathy. Waiting has taught you humility. These qualities will shape how you impact others later. You are not stuck. You are being refined. You are not delayed. You are being aligned. What feels repetitive is often reinforcement, ensuring that when movement comes, you are steady. I am asking you to continue choosing faith in small ways. Continue choosing integrity when it is inconvenient. Continue choosing patience when impatience tempts you. These choices are shaping your future more than you can see right now. If you are willing to keep trusting even when progress feels quiet, comment, I choose faith as your single declaration today. My child, stay close and listen carefully, because what I am revealing now is meant to anchor you when movement begins. You are approaching a turning point, not one marked by noise or sudden spectacle, but by inner certainty. This is the kind of certainty that does not rush, does not panic, and does not fade when conditions change. You have been learning how to remain steady when answers do not arrive immediately. That steadiness is not accidental. I have been training your heart to stay rooted, so that when circumstances shift, you will not be shaken. Sudden change without inner stability creates confusion, but alignment within creates peace even during transition. There were moments when you felt like nothing was happening, when each day looked similar to the last. But repetition does not mean stagnation. It means reinforcement. Muscles grow through repeated resistance. Faith grows the same way. Each time you chose patience instead of frustration, strength increased. Each time you chose trust instead of control, clarity deepened. I know you have wondered whether your obedience still matters when outcomes remain unseen. Hear me clearly. Obedience always matters, not because it earns reward, but because it shapes character. Character is what carries blessing without distortion. I care as much about who you are becoming as what you are receiving. You are learning how to listen without reacting immediately. This pause is powerful. It creates space for wisdom. It prevents unnecessary conflict. It allows direction to form before action. Many regrets are born from rushed decisions. You are being spared from those. Some of you have been tempted to lower your expectations, not because you stopped believing, but because you wanted to protect yourself from disappointment. But hope does not weaken. When delayed, it matures. Mature hope is resilient. It does not collapse under waiting. It rests in trust. I am also teaching you to recognize alignment by peace, not excitement. Excitement fades quickly. Peace remains. When something is aligned with my purpose, it will not demand urgency that robs you of rest. It will invite commitment without pressure. There are connections I am preparing that will feel familiar yet new. You will recognize alignment not by effort, but by ease. Not by convincing, but by confirmation. These connections will support growth rather than drain it. You may notice that you are no longer attracted to chaos. Drama feels heavy now. Confusion feels unnecessary. This shift is part of preparation. What you are stepping into requires clarity, not constant reaction. I know patience has tested you. There were days you questioned whether waiting was wise, but patience has refined your judgment. You are no longer easily swayed. You are more grounded. You are more discerning. These qualities will protect you when opportunities multiply. You are also learning how to hold gratitude even before results appear. Gratitude changes perspective. It reminds you that progress is not only measured by milestones, but by growth in peace, wisdom, and self-awareness. Some of the resistance you faced was not opposition, it was confirmation. Not everything resists what is wrong. Sometimes resistance appears because you are growing beyond what once contained you. Expansion requires pressure. You have been learning how to trust me with details you cannot control. Timing, outcomes, other people's choices. This trust frees you from anxiety. When you stop carrying what is not yours to carry, peace returns. I am also preparing you to move without fear of failure. Failure no longer defines you. You understand now that setbacks teach, refine, and redirect. This understanding will allow you to step forward with confidence rather than caution. The next season will require calm decision-making, not hurried responses, not emotional reactions, but thoughtful movement. You are being trained for that now. If you are willing to remain steady and trust my timing even as things begin to shift, comment, "I remain steady," as your single declaration today. And if these words continue to strengthen you, remember to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. If you feel supported and uplifted by these messages, and want to help extend this ministry. You may also support God's ministry through the link given below, so this guidance can continue reaching those who need it. Everything is aligning with care and precision. Your breakthrough is drawing nearer with purpose, and you are becoming ready to receive it with peace and confidence. My child, stay with me and let your heart remain open. You are entering a phase where understanding will deepen, not because every question is answered, but because trust has matured. There is a difference between knowing every detail and knowing who is leading you. You are learning the second, and it is far more powerful. You have reached a point where your faith is quieter but stronger. Earlier, you needed signs to feel secure. Now, you are learning to walk even when signs are subtle. This is not loss of passion. It is growth in confidence. You are no longer dependent on constant reassurance because you have learned to recognize my presence in stillness. I know there were moments when you felt tempted to force progress. You wanted to push doors, accelerate timelines, and make things happen. But I restrained you, not to frustrate you, but to refine you. Forced progress often leads to fragile outcomes. I am preparing something stable, something that will last. You are beginning to understand that alignment often feels like restraint before release. Muscles are strengthened before movement. Foundations are secured before structures rise. In the same way, I have been securing your inner world before expanding your outer world. You have also been learning discernment in your decisions. You are no longer moved by pressure or comparison. You are becoming comfortable waiting for peace before acting. This patience is wisdom forming. It will protect you from regret and guide you toward choices that bring life. Some of you listening have struggled with the fear of missing out. You worried that if you didn't act quickly, opportunity would pass you by. But what is aligned with my purpose will not require panic. It will wait for you just as you are being prepared for it. You have been developing emotional strength. Situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. You are not numb, you are balanced. This balance will allow you to navigate future changes without losing yourself. I am also teaching you to recognize that not every delay is an obstacle. Some delays are invitations to grow deeper roots. Without roots, growth becomes unstable. With roots, growth becomes sustainable. You may notice that you are less reactive to criticism and less dependent on praise. This freedom is important. When you are no longer controlled by opinions, you are free to move in alignment with truth. You have been learning how to wait without resentment. Waiting once made you anxious, frustrated, and doubtful. Now, you are learning to wait with peace. That shift matters more than you realize. Peace during waiting prepares you for peace during abundance. There are habits you are building now that will serve you later. Discipline, reflection, prayer, integrity. These habits are shaping who you are becoming, not just what you will receive. I care deeply about both. You are also learning how to release outcomes. You do your part with faithfulness, and you trust me with the rest. This release frees your mind and strengthens your spirit. When you let go of control, alignment accelerates naturally. I know you sometimes feel tired, not physically, but emotionally. Carrying hope for a long time can be exhausting. But hear me, renewal is happening even now. Strength is returning. Clarity is forming. Confidence is rising quietly. This season is teaching you how to stand firm without becoming rigid. Flexible enough to adjust, strong enough to endure. This balance will allow you to move forward without fear when the moment comes. You are closer than you think. Not because everything is visible yet, but because everything necessary is being prepared. I do not rush what matters. I align it. If you are choosing to continue trusting me even when the path unfolds slowly, comment, "I trust you completely," as your single declaration today. My child, remain attentive, because this is a season where subtle shifts carry great meaning. You may not feel the ground shaking beneath you, yet alignment is taking place with precision. I am teaching you to recognize movement not by noise, but by peace. When peace grows deeper, alignment is closer than you realize. You have been learning how to trust me without needing constant confirmation. Earlier in your journey, you depended on signs to reassure your heart. Now, you are discovering something stronger, confidence rooted in relationship. You no longer need to see everything clearly to move forward. You have learned to rely on my guidance even when the path unfolds gradually. There were moments when you questioned whether your quiet obedience still mattered, when your consistency felt invisible. But I want you to know that consistency shapes destiny more than intensity. What you do faithfully over time prepares you to receive what you prayed for without losing balance. You are also learning how to remain calm when things are uncertain. Calm does not mean passive. It means anchored. An anchored heart is not easily shaken by delay, distraction, or disappointment. This steadiness will serve you well when change accelerates. I know there were days when impatience tempted you to act prematurely, when waiting felt uncomfortable and action felt easier. But restraint has protected you. Every time you paused instead of rushing, wisdom increased. You are learning that timing matters as much as intention. Some of the pressure you felt recently was not opposition. It was stretching. Growth often feels like tension because old limits no longer fit. You are expanding beyond what once contained you. That expansion requires patience, reflection, and trust. You have also been learning how to release fear of outcomes. Fear once made you cling tightly to specific results. Now, you are learning to hold hope with open hands. This openness allows me to move freely without resistance. There are lessons you are carrying now that will guide future decisions. You are learning when to speak and when to remain silent, when to move and when to wait, when to engage and when to step back. This discernment is forming quietly, but it will have lasting impact. You may notice that you are less reactive to uncertainty. Questions no longer overwhelm you the way they once did. This does not mean you have stopped caring. It means you have learned to trust beyond understanding. I am also reshaping how you view progress. Progress is not always marked by milestones. Sometimes it is marked by peace, where anxiety once lived, by clarity where confusion once dominated, by patience where frustration once ruled. These changes matter deeply. You are learning to protect your energy. You are becoming more intentional with your time. You are recognizing what nourishes your spirit and what drains it. This awareness is part of preparation. What is coming will require discernment, not exhaustion. There were seasons when you felt overlooked, when your effort seemed unnoticed. But hear me, nothing done in faith is ever wasted. What was unseen is being honored. What was hidden is being prepared for revelation at the right time. I know it has been difficult, not knowing exactly when things will change, but certainty is not required for obedience. Trust is enough. And you have been choosing trust repeatedly, even when it felt uncomfortable. You are also learning how to remain hopeful without becoming anxious. Hope anchored in trust does not demand immediacy. It rests in assurance. This kind of hope strengthens rather than exhausts. The next phase of your journey will require clarity and calm decision-making, not hurried reactions, not emotional impulses. You are being trained now to move with wisdom rather than urgency. You may not recognize it fully yet, but your confidence is growing. Quietly. Not from circumstances improving, but from trust deepening. This confidence will allow you to step forward without fear when the moment arrives. I am not rushing what matters. I am aligning it. Every delay has purpose. Every pause has meaning. And every step you take in trust is moving you closer to what I have prepared. If you are willing to continue trusting me, even when progress unfolds slowly, comment, "I remain faithful," as your single declaration today. My child, listen gently and without strain, because this season is teaching you something deeper than progress alone. I am teaching you how to remain anchored when the pace of life changes. You have noticed that your reactions are softer now, your responses more measured. This is not hesitation. This is wisdom taking root. There was a time when uncertainty unsettled you. You needed outcomes quickly to feel secure. Now, you are learning how to stand steady even when answers unfold slowly. This steadiness is not accidental. It has been formed through every moment you chose. Trust over panic, patience over pressure. You are beginning to recognize that alignment is not always dramatic. Sometimes it feels like calm replacing restlessness. Sometimes it feels like clarity arriving quietly. Sometimes it feels like the absence of fear where fear once lived. These shifts are signs that something meaningful is happening. I know there were moments when you questioned whether waiting was costing you opportunities, but what is meant for you will not require you to chase it anxiously. Alignment does not run away. It arrives at the right time and stays long enough to be stewarded well. You have been learning how to release urgency. Urgency once made you feel productive, but it also made you tired. I am teaching you that effectiveness is not measured by speed, but by accuracy. Moving at the right time matters more than moving quickly. There are layers of healing taking place within you, not only from obvious wounds, but from subtle disappointments you normalized, expectations you lowered to avoid pain, hopes you silenced to protect your heart. I am restoring your ability to hope without fear of disappointment. You may notice that your desires are becoming clearer. What once felt important now feels optional. What once distracted you now feels empty. This refinement is part of preparation. I am helping you recognize what aligns with peace and what does not. You are also learning how to trust your discernment. You pause before committing. You reflect before responding. You listen before acting. This does not make you indecisive. It makes you grounded. Grounded people build lasting outcomes. I am teaching you to see progress differently. Progress is not always visible change. Sometimes it is inner stability. Sometimes it is emotional resilience. Sometimes it is the ability to remain calm when plans shift unexpectedly. These are strengths you will need. There were seasons when you felt pressure to explain yourself, to justify your pace, to defend your choices. Now, you are learning that not everyone needs to understand your process. Peace does not require consensus. Alignment does not require approval. You are becoming comfortable with silence. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels restorative. In quiet moments, your mind settles and your heart listens. This stillness allows direction to surface without force. You have also been learning to let go of control without losing responsibility. You do what is yours to do faithfully, and you trust me with what is beyond your reach. This balance brings peace and prevents burnout. I know there are days when you wish things would move faster, when patience feels heavy. But patience is shaping endurance. Endurance will allow you to carry what comes next without losing joy. You are not waiting without purpose. You are being equipped with discernment, equipped with resilience, equipped with clarity. These qualities will guide you when movement begins. You may not realize it yet, but you are becoming more confident. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that does not need constant validation. This confidence comes from trust, not circumstance. There are conversations, opportunities, and decisions ahead that will require calm wisdom. You are being prepared now so that when those moments arrive, you will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel ready. I am also teaching you how to release what no longer fits. Old expectations, old pressures, old definitions of success. Making room is part of alignment. What is coming needs space. You are learning to value peace over urgency, clarity over speed, and alignment over appearance. These priorities will protect you when life accelerates. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted. Every lesson has contributed to who you are becoming. And who you are becoming matters just as much as what you will receive. If you are willing to continue trusting me, even when progress feels quiet and gradual, comment. I stay aligned as your single declaration today. My child, stay attentive, because this is a refining moment. You may not feel dramatic change, yet something important is settling into place. I am teaching you how to remain steady when anticipation grows. Anticipation can be beautiful, but if it is not grounded, it can turn into anxiety. I am grounding you now. You are learning how to hold expectation without pressure. This balance is rare. Many people rush when they sense movement, but I am teaching you to remain calm even when alignment draws near. Calm keeps you clear. Calm keeps you discerning. Calm keeps you from making decisions driven by fear or excitement alone. There was a time when uncertainty unsettled you deeply. You needed reassurance to feel safe. Now, you are learning that safety comes from trust, not certainty. This shift matters. Trust allows you to move forward, even when details are still forming. You have been growing in emotional maturity. Situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. You are responding with thoughtfulness instead of impulse. This maturity is not accidental. It has been shaped by every moment you chose patience over reaction. I know there were days when you felt tired of waiting, when you wondered if staying faithful was worth it. But waiting with trust has strengthened your foundation. A strong foundation supports growth without collapse. Without it, progress becomes fragile. You are learning how to listen to peace. Peace is not passive. It is informative. When peace remains, alignment is often present. When peace leaves, something requires attention. This awareness is becoming clearer to you, and it will guide you well. You have also been learning to let go of assumptions. Assumptions once created unnecessary fear and disappointment. Now, you are learning to stay present, to respond to what is real rather than what you imagine. This presence keeps you grounded and open. I am refining how you see obstacles. Obstacles no longer feel like final barriers. They feel like indicators. They reveal what needs adjustment, patience, or redirection. This perspective transforms frustration into insight. You may notice that you are less tempted to explain yourself. You are comfortable letting actions speak. This confidence does not come from pride. It comes from clarity. You know who you are becoming, even if others do not yet see it. There were seasons when you felt pressure to keep proving yourself, to show progress, to justify your pace. But now, you are learning that growth does not need constant explanation. Alignment speaks in time. You are also learning how to wait without resentment. Resentment once crept in when things took longer than expected. Now, you are learning to wait with acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means trusting me with the process. I know patience has stretched you. Stretching can be uncomfortable, but stretching increases capacity. Without it, growth would be limited. You are becoming capable of handling more without losing peace. You have been developing discernment about where to invest your energy. You no longer pour into what consistently drains you. You are choosing wisely. This discernment will protect you in future seasons of expansion. I am also teaching you how to remain hopeful without being demanding. Demanding hope turns into pressure. Peaceful hope turns into confidence. You are learning the second. You may feel moments of anticipation rising. That is not imagination. Alignment does create awareness before manifestation, but I want you to remain grounded. Stay present. Stay attentive. Let things unfold without force. The clarity you seek will come at the right moment. Not too early, not too late. Timing protects outcome. I am mindful of every detail. You are learning to trust that what is forming will not bypass you. What is aligned for you will find you ready. It will not require frantic chasing. It will arrive with peace. This season is strengthening your ability to wait well. Waiting well matters. It prepares your heart to receive without fear, without doubt, without overwhelm. I know you sometimes wonder if the pace will ever change. It will, but when it does, you will not feel rushed. You will feel ready. That readiness is being built now. You are becoming someone who can move forward without losing balance. someone who can grow without losing humility, someone who can receive without losing gratitude. Nothing about this season is accidental. Every pause has purpose. Every delay has meaning. Every lesson is shaping you. If you are choosing to remain calm, trusting my timing even as anticipation grows, comment, "I wait with peace," as your single declaration today. My child, stay present with me as we move into this moment of understanding. What you are experiencing now is not stagnation, it is stabilization. Before acceleration, there must be balance. Before expansion, there must be grounding. I am anchoring you so that when movement comes, you will not be overwhelmed by it. You have learned much through waiting, but now you are learning something deeper through readiness. Readiness does not mean impatience. It means awareness. You are becoming aware of your thoughts, your reactions, your motivations. You are noticing when fear tries to hurry you and when peace invites you to pause. This awareness is wisdom growing. There were times when you assumed alignment would feel exciting. You imagined it would come with sudden clarity, visible change, or immediate relief, but alignment often feels like calm replacing restlessness. It feels like confidence settling quietly rather than announcing itself loudly. This calm is not emptiness, it is strength. You are learning how to move from reaction to intention. Instead of responding automatically, you are choosing thoughtfully. Instead of acting from pressure, you are acting from purpose. This shift matters because intention shapes outcomes more than impulse ever could. I know you sometimes reflect on how much effort you have invested and wonder when you will see the fruit of it. But fruit grows in seasons. It does not appear the moment the seed is planted. Roots develop first, unseen but essential. What you are nurturing now will support what you will carry later. You have also been learning the importance of timing in relationships, decisions, and opportunities. You are no longer drawn to what moves quickly but fades just as fast. You are drawn to what develops steadily and lasts. This discernment is part of alignment. Some of the peace you feel now comes from releasing expectations you placed on yourself, expectations that were shaped by comparison rather than calling. You are learning that your journey does not need to resemble anyone else's to be meaningful. Alignment is personal, not competitive. I am teaching you how to trust the process without losing momentum. You continue to grow, to learn, to prepare, even while waiting. This act of trust keeps you engaged without exhausting you. It allows progress without pressure. You may notice that your confidence is quieter now. You do not feel the need to prove yourself or explain every decision. This quiet confidence is rooted in clarity. You know why you are doing what you are doing, even if others do not. There are moments ahead when things will begin to shift externally, when decisions will be required, when opportunities will present themselves. And because of this season, you will approach those moments with calm discernment rather than urgency. I know there were days when you felt like giving up on certain hopes, when disappointment tempted you to lower your expectations. But hope has not left you, it has matured. Mature hope does not demand immediate fulfillment, it rests in trust. You are also learning how to manage anticipation. Anticipation does not have to turn into anxiety. It can remain peaceful when anchored in trust. You are learning to hold expectation without tension, and this balance will protect your joy. I am refining how you view success. Success is not only achievement, it is alignment. It is peace in motion. It is integrity in progress. It is confidence without arrogance. This definition will guide you well. You have been developing resilience without becoming hardened. You are learning to endure while remaining compassionate. This balance will allow you to grow without losing empathy. There are insights forming within you that will soon guide action. You are beginning to recognize what aligns with your values and what does not. This clarity will prevent unnecessary detours. I want you to understand that readiness is not loud. It is steady. It is grounded. It is patient. You are not missing anything. You are being prepared. If you are choosing to trust this preparation and remain steady in this season, comment, "I am ready in your time," as your single declaration today. And if these words are helping you, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. If you feel supported and uplifted by these messages and would like to help continue this work, you may also support God's ministry through the link given below, so more lives can be reached. My child, remain close and attentive, because this is a season of quiet strengthening. What you are experiencing now may not look dramatic on the outside, but inwardly, something important is settling into place. I am teaching you how to remain steady when anticipation rises and answers are still forming. You have learned that not every season is about movement. Some seasons are about posture. How you wait matters as much as what you are waiting for. You are learning to wait with trust instead of tension, with hope instead of pressure. This posture will protect you when things begin to move more quickly. There were moments when you thought alignment would feel obvious, when you expected clarity to arrive all at once. But alignment often unfolds gently. It feels like calm replacing restlessness. It feels like confidence forming without noise. It feels like knowing without needing proof. These are signs that something is coming together. You are learning how to live without constantly needing reassurance. Earlier, uncertainty unsettled you deeply. Now, you are discovering that peace does not come from knowing everything, but from trusting me with what you do not yet know. This trust is becoming a foundation you can stand on. I know patience has tested you. There were days when waiting felt heavier than action, but patience has expanded your capacity. You can now hold hope without urgency, expectation without anxiety. This balance will allow you to receive what is coming without fear. You are also learning how to respond rather than react. Situations that once demanded immediate emotional response now invite thoughtful reflection. This shift is wisdom growing. It prevents unnecessary conflict and guides you toward choices that align with peace. Some of the stillness you feel is intentional. I quieted distractions so you could hear direction more clearly. Noise once drowned out insight. Now, clarity forms in calm. This stillness is not emptiness. It is preparation. You may notice that your priorities have shifted. What once felt urgent now feels optional. What once consumed your energy now feels less important. This refinement is part of alignment. I am helping you recognize what truly matters so you can invest wisely. You are also learning how to trust your inner sense of peace. Peace has become a guide rather than an afterthought. When peace remains, alignment is present. When peace leaves, something needs attention. This awareness is strengthening your discernment. I know there were times when you questioned whether you were doing enough. You wondered if you should push harder or move faster. But this is not a season for striving. It is a season for trusting the work already done. Overworking would only create fatigue, not clarity. You have grown more comfortable with uncertainty, not because you enjoy it, but because it no longer controls you. You understand now that certainty is not required for obedience. Trust is enough to keep moving forward. I'm also teaching you how to release control without losing responsibility. You do what is yours to do faithfully, and you trust me with what is beyond your reach. This balance keeps your heart light and your mind clear. There are moments ahead when things will begin to shift externally, when movement will require decision, when opportunity will invite response. And because of this season, you will not rush. You will recognize alignment by peace, not pressure. You are becoming someone who can handle change without losing stability, someone who can receive without becoming overwhelmed, someone who can move forward without fear of missing out. This readiness is not accidental. I know you sometimes wonder if the pace will ever change. It will. But when it does, you will not feel frantic. You will feel prepared. That preparation is happening now. You are also learning how to let go of outcomes without letting go of hope. Hope anchored in trust does not exhaust you. It strengthens you. This kind of hope will carry you through both waiting and fulfillment. Nothing you have experienced in this season has been wasted. Every pause has purpose. Every delay has meaning. Every lesson has shaped your discernment and deepened your trust. You are closer than you realize, not because everything is visible, but because everything necessary is aligning. I do not rush what matters. I prepare it carefully. If you are choosing to remain steady, trusting my timing even when progress feels quiet, comment, "I remain steady in faith," as your single declaration today. My child, remain attentive and do not rush past this moment. You are standing in a space where trust is being solidified, not tested. There is a difference. Testing shakes you to reveal weakness. Solidifying strengthens you to prepare for movement. What you are feeling now is strength settling into place. You have learned how to wait without losing heart. Earlier in your journey, waiting felt like punishment. Now, it feels purposeful. This shift did not happen overnight. It happened each time you chose to stay faithful instead of giving up, each time you chose patience instead of panic. These choices shaped you. I know there were days when you wondered whether you were truly progressing. Growth that happens internally can be difficult to measure, but internal growth lasts longer than visible success. You are becoming someone who can carry peace into changing circumstances. That ability will protect you when life accelerates. You have been learning how to remain open without becoming vulnerable to unnecessary pain. You are discerning where to invest your energy. You are learning when to speak and when to listen. This balance is wisdom forming. It will guide your decisions and protect your heart. There were moments when you felt stretched emotionally, when you questioned whether the effort was worth it. But stretching increases capacity. Without stretching, growth becomes limited. You are becoming capable of holding more responsibility without losing clarity. I am also teaching you how to recognize alignment through calm assurance rather than emotional excitement. Excitement fades quickly. Assurance remains. When something is aligned, it will not pressure you into urgency. It will invite you into confidence. You have learned that not every open door is meant to be entered. Discernment now guides your steps. You pause, you reflect, you seek peace before committing. This approach will save you from unnecessary detours and protect your future. You may notice that your reactions to uncertainty are different now. You do not immediately assume the worst. You do not rush to conclusions. You allow space for understanding to form. This patience reflects trust taking root. Some of the clarity you seek has been delayed intentionally. Clarity arrives best when the heart is ready to receive it without fear. You are nearing that readiness now. Fear no longer controls your decisions. Peace is becoming your guide. You are also learning how to remain grounded when expectations rise. Anticipation does not overwhelm you the way it once did. You are learning to wait with hope rather than anxiety. This emotional steadiness will support you when opportunities appear. There were times when you felt pressure to keep proving yourself, to show results, to demonstrate progress. But now, you are learning that growth does not need constant validation. Alignment will speak for itself in time. I am refining how you view challenges. Challenges no longer feel like signs of failure. They feel like invitations to trust deeper. Each challenge strengthens your discernment and builds resilience. You are becoming comfortable with letting go of what no longer fits. Old expectations, old timelines, old fears. Making space is part of alignment. What is coming requires room. You may notice that your confidence is quieter but steadier. You do not need constant reassurance. You trust the direction, even when details are still unfolding. This confidence will anchor you during change. I am also teaching you how to steward peace. Peace is not passive. It requires intention. You protect it by setting boundaries, by choosing rest, by releasing unnecessary pressure. This stewardship will allow you to move forward without exhaustion. You have learned how to remain faithful even when motivation fluctuates. Discipline now supports your progress. This discipline will serve you when responsibility increases. There are moments ahead when decisions will require courage. You will not feel rushed or unprepared because this season has equipped you with clarity and calm. You will recognize alignment not by noise, but by peace. You are not waiting aimlessly. You are being prepared thoughtfully. Every lesson has contributed to your readiness. Every pause has increased your discernment. I know there are days when you wonder how close you truly are. You are closer than you realize, not because everything is visible, but because everything necessary is aligning. You are learning to trust without needing to control. Control once felt like safety. Now, trust feels like freedom. This freedom will allow you to move forward without fear. Nothing about this season has been accidental. Every delay has purpose. Every challenge has shaped strength. Every moment of waiting has deepened trust. If you are choosing to continue trusting me and remain faithful even as anticipation grows, comment, "I trust the alignment," as your single declaration today. My child, stay here with me, because what you are sensing now is important. There is a quiet certainty beginning to replace the long season of questioning. This certainty is not loud, and it does not rush you. It settles gently, reminding you that you are not wandering. You are being led. You are entering a phase where trust is no longer something you struggle to hold. It is becoming your natural posture. Earlier, trust required effort. You had to remind yourself repeatedly. Now, trust is beginning to feel steady, like a foundation beneath your feet. This is alignment taking root. You have learned how to carry hope without letting it turn into pressure. Pressure once made you restless, always looking ahead, always wondering when things would change. Now hope feels calmer. It allows you to remain present while still believing in what is coming. This balance is rare, and it is powerful. There were moments when you felt tempted to revisit old fears, especially when progress felt slow. Fear tried to convince you that waiting meant stagnation. But you are learning now that waiting can be active. You have been growing, refining, and strengthening even when circumstances appeared unchanged. I have been teaching you how to stay grounded when emotions fluctuate. Some days feel lighter, others feel heavier. Neither defines your direction. Direction is shaped by faithfulness, not feelings. You are learning to remain consistent even when motivation shifts. You are also becoming more aware of what alignment feels like in your body and spirit. Alignment does not bring chaos, it brings clarity. It does not rush you, it steadies you. When something is meant for you, it will not steal your peace to arrive. You have grown more discerning about where you invest your energy. You no longer pour into situations that consistently drain you. This is not selfishness. It is stewardship. You are learning that your energy is valuable and must be guarded wisely. There were seasons when you felt the need to explain yourself, to justify why things were taking time. Now, you are becoming comfortable letting time speak for you. Alignment does not require defense. It reveals itself naturally. I know patience has stretched you. Waiting longer than expected can create doubt if trust is not anchored. But your trust has deepened. You no longer feel abandoned in the waiting. You feel accompanied. That awareness changes everything. You are also learning how to sit with uncertainty without letting it dominate your thoughts. Uncertainty no longer feels threatening. It feels temporary. You understand now that clarity arrives when readiness meets timing. You may notice that your reactions to delays are different. You no longer panic. You no longer assume the worst. You pause. You reflect, and you remain open. This response reflects maturity growing within you. I am refining your understanding of progress. Progress is not only about external movement, it is about internal alignment. Your values are clearer. Your priorities are more focused. Your boundaries are stronger. These are signs of progress that will support lasting change. There were times when you felt like you were circling the same lessons, but repetition has strengthened understanding. You are no longer learning these lessons from scratch. You are learning them at a deeper level. This depth will guide future decisions. You are also becoming more comfortable with silence. Silence no longer feels empty or unsettling. It feels reflective. In silence, you hear my guidance more clearly. In silence, your heart settles and your mind quiets. I know you still wonder when visible change will appear. That question is natural, but visible change is closer than you think. The internal work happening now ensures that when change arrives, it will be sustainable rather than overwhelming. You are learning to trust that what is meant for you will not require chasing. It will arrive in alignment, not urgency. This understanding frees you from comparison and competition. I am also teaching you how to remain humble without doubting your growth. Humility does not mean underestimating what I am doing in you. It means recognizing that growth is a gift, not a performance. You are becoming someone who can wait without resentment, hope without anxiety, and prepare without pressure. This combination is rare, and it is powerful. There are moments ahead when opportunities will require clear decisions. You will not feel rushed because you have learned how to listen before acting. You will recognize alignment by peace rather than excitement. Nothing in this season has been wasted. Every pause has strengthened discernment. Every delay has deepened trust. Every moment of waiting has increased readiness. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not missing out. You are being aligned. If you are choosing to stay grounded and trust that everything is coming together in the right way, comment, I trust the process fully, as your single declaration today. My child, stay with me, and do not let your attention drift, because this is a moment of recognition. You are beginning to sense that something is different, not because everything has changed yet, but because you have changed. Your heart is steadier. Your thoughts are clearer. Your trust is deeper. This is not accidental. This is preparation reaching maturity. There was a time when uncertainty consumed you. You searched constantly for signs, for confirmation, for reassurance that you were moving in the right direction. Now, you are learning to walk with quiet confidence. Confidence not rooted in outcomes, but in relationship. You know who is guiding you, and that knowledge is calming your spirit. You are learning that alignment does not always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it settles. Sometimes it reveals itself only through peace that remains even when circumstances are unresolved. That peace you feel is not imagination. It is confirmation. I know you still have questions. That does not concern me. Questions do not cancel faith. Fear does, and you are no longer led by fear the way you once were. Fear may still try to speak, but it no longer has authority over your decisions. You listen, and then you choose trust anyway. You have learned how to remain faithful without needing to feel inspired every day. Some days are quiet, some days feel ordinary, but faithfulness in ordinary days builds extraordinary outcomes. You are learning consistency, and consistency builds strength. There were seasons when you felt like you were standing still while others moved ahead. Comparison tried to steal your peace, but now you are understanding that your pace has protected you. What rushed others overwhelmed them. What delayed you prepared you. Timing has been your ally, not your enemy. You are also becoming more aware of how you speak to yourself. Harsh inner criticism is softening. Patience with yourself is growing. You are learning that growth does not require self-punishment. It requires honesty, grace, and willingness to keep moving forward. I am teaching you how to recognize readiness without rushing. Readiness is not urgency. It is steadiness. It is the ability to move without panic, to decide without pressure, to act without fear of missing out. You are developing this steadiness now. There are things you once tolerated that you no longer can, not because you have become rigid, but because your standards have matured. You are protecting your peace. You are honoring your growth. This discernment is part of alignment. You may notice that you are less reactive to delays. Waiting no longer feels like failure. It feels like space. Space to reflect, space to prepare, space to breathe. This shift allows me to work without resistance. I know you still wonder how the pieces will come together. You do not see the full picture yet, and that can feel uncomfortable. But the picture is forming. Connections are aligning. Timing is synchronizing. What feels scattered now will soon make sense. You are learning to trust that what is meant for you will arrive in a way that does not disturb your peace. It will not require you to compromise who you are becoming. It will not pull you backward. It will move you forward gently but firmly. You are also learning that rest does not delay progress. Rest restores clarity. When you rest, you allow wisdom to surface. You allow strength to renew. You allow alignment to continue without strain. There were times when you felt pressure to do more, to try harder, to force results. But now you understand that alignment flows best when trust replaces striving. Effort guided by trust produces fruit. Effort driven by fear produces exhaustion. You have developed patience that does not feel heavy anymore. It feels intentional. You are not waiting because you are stuck. You are waiting because you are aligned with timing greater than your own. You are becoming someone who can hold responsibility without losing peace. Someone who can receive without becoming overwhelmed. Someone who can move forward without losing humility. This is why preparation mattered. I know you still feel anticipation. Anticipation is natural, but it no longer controls you. It no longer robs you of presence. You are learning to live fully now while trusting what is coming. Nothing you have endured has been meaningless. Every lesson has sharpened discernment. Every delay has strengthened trust. Every quiet moment has increased clarity. You are not behind. You are readying yourself. You are closer than you realize. Not because everything is visible, but because everything essential is in place. I do not bring breakthrough without preparation. I do not bring blessing without balance. I do not bring change without clarity. And you are ready. If you are choosing to trust me completely as this season comes together, comment, "I am aligned and ready," as your single declaration today. Stay with me. Stay present. Everything is aligning carefully, intentionally, and for your good. My child, stay here with me to the very end, because this moment is a culmination, not an ending, but a crossing. What you have walked through, what you have endured, what you have learned, has brought you to a place of readiness that you could not have reached any other way. This is not coincidence. This is alignment reaching completion. You are no longer the same person who first began waiting. Your heart is steadier. Your faith is deeper. Your vision is clearer. You do not need everything explained to you now, because you have learned how to trust me without needing full visibility. That trust is the foundation for what comes next. There was a time when you prayed mainly for change around you. Now, you see that change within you mattered just as much. You have been shaped to carry what is coming without losing peace, without losing humility, without losing yourself. That shaping was not easy, but it was necessary. You have learned how to stand without constant reassurance. You have learned how to wait without resentment. You have learned how to hope without pressure. These lessons are rare, and they are powerful. They will serve you long after this season has passed. I know there were moments when you doubted whether staying faithful was worth it, when waiting felt longer than you expected, when silence felt heavy. But hear me clearly now, nothing you endured was wasted. Every delay refined you. Every pause strengthened you. Every unanswered question deepened trust. You are now standing in a place where alignment feels natural, not forced. You are not scrambling. You are not chasing. You are not panicking. You are ready to move with clarity when direction comes. That calm readiness is the result of everything you have learned. What is ahead will not require you to abandon the peace you gained. It will not demand that you compromise your values. It will not pull you back into fear or confusion. What is ahead will meet you where you are and invite you forward with confidence. You have learned how to recognize alignment by peace rather than excitement. Excitement fades, but peace remains. What I bring into your life next will come with peace, even if it stretches you, even if it challenges you. Peace will remain because it is aligned. You are no longer afraid of missing out. You understand now that what is meant for you cannot bypass you. It will arrive at the right time, in the right way, and you will recognize it without force. You have learned how to let go of control without losing responsibility. You do your part faithfully, and you trust me with the rest. This balance frees your heart and sharpens your discernment. There are decisions ahead that will require courage, but you will not feel rushed. You will not feel confused. You will feel grounded. The preparation you walk through has trained you for that moment. I know you still feel anticipation. That is natural. But anticipation no longer robs you of peace. You are present now. You are grateful now. You are grounded now. This presence allows you to receive fully when the time comes. You are stepping into a season where clarity will replace confusion, where movement will replace stillness, where fruit will grow from seeds you planted long ago. When it begins, you will look back and understand why timing mattered so much. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are aligned. Everything that needed to be healed has been addressed. Everything that needed to be strengthened has been reinforced. Everything that needed to be released has been loosened. You are prepared. And now I ask you to walk forward with trust. Not fear, not hesitation, trust. If you are ready to walk into what I have prepared with faith and confidence, comment, "I am ready to move forward," as your single declaration today. And my child, if these messages have helped you, strengthened you, and guided you through this season, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. Stay connected, and watch this series again whenever you need reassurance. If you feel grateful and supported by these words, and desire to help this work continue, you may also support God's ministry through the link given below, so these messages can reach more hearts that are still waiting for hope. Everything is aligning. Your breakthrough is no longer distant. You are ready. Walk forward now. I am with you.